Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a very rare and powerful energy reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm know that you guys like this channel, like these type of videos, and it helps me out tremendously. I wouldn't be here without you all, so thank you so very much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time, because there is such powerful energy that we're going to be dealing with. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is the 10 of Cups. We are going to have a tendency, Libra, to look at everyone and everything and think everybody kind of has it figured out. They're living happier lives than we are, or, they have more than we do emotionally, kind of, especially when it comes to love, especially when it comes to connections. There's a sense that like a green-eyed monster can grow within us. This is telling us, just be aware. Just be aware. Everything that you see, it isn't what is. And especially in our world of social media and in our world of everything being, carefully tailored to make us envious, to make us look at ourselves and think, oh my, I'm just not good enough. That's not the truth at all. So be aware of that. Be aware, because that comes in. We're coming to a completion of the heart cycle, okay, here. And there's a sense of being able to embrace what we love, what we deeply desire, what's really important to us. And as we're coming to that conclusion, we're also going to find, that there's a little bit of jealousy that comes up, or there's a sense of, oh, I didn't do it right. And it's like, well, what the heck is right? So let's see what spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So here we have spiritual and evolve. This is going to be a time of spiritual evolution for us. So we're going to see ourselves evolving into more and connecting a deeper connection, a more profound connection, a more beautiful connection in our lives and for ourselves. So that's going to be a really big deal. Connecting with the spiritual is going to be super important to us. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. So let's talk about this time energy wise and spiritually, okay? Or energy wise, spiritually, and, astrologically speaking. There are 4 times during the year that our energy, that we are open to, you know, our energy channels connecting with the spiritual, with our spiritual selves. And this is one of those times. It's the solstices and it's the equinoxes. So whether you're in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere, this is us connecting with the healing, powerful energy of the solstice. And this is us opening to that energy in ways that's really quite profound. This year and at this time, our energy channels, the power of our connection to this earth and to those around us, open. And they open, a bit before the solstice, a bit after the solstice, and we're going to see ourselves moving forward. We're kind of resisting this healing. So just be aware of that, Libra. We're resisting our hearts opening. We're resisting moving forward in the passion and in the power that we want to, or that we really desire for ourselves. There's something that we're holding back on. This is also the beginning of Cancer season, which is a time when we really find ourselves wanting to connect with family and friends, and our idea of family and friends, what that means to us, finding balance in our emotions and with our emotions, and saying, where is it that I want to be for me? The solstice is also in between Saturn going retrograde, which happened on the 17th of June, also with the new moon, and with Neptune stationary, which happens on the 30th of June. And this time has us looking at, power and control, looking at where, people are taking control over us or trying to have power over us, where we're trying to have power and control over certain situations. And that's from the Saturn energy. With the Neptune energy, we are going to be finding that we're feeling very emotional and very emotionally overwhelmed. We can feel very on the verge of tears. Like we can easily cry. And we can almost feel like, oh my gosh, am I a teenager again? Like we are so emotionally connected and it's overwhelming. We're also opening psychically and spiritually, not only because it is the solstice, and there's a reason why so many different cultures and so many different mythos, religions have, the solstice and the equinox special and pointed out, like, highlighted in their celebrations. What we have here is Neptune squared the galactic center. And this happens, not only at this time, this is going to happen for a couple of years. And if you want to dive deeper into the astrology of it all, I highly recommend Pam Gregory's channel, which is here on YouTube. And I'll link that in the description box below. But we are going to see a huge awakening, a huge moving forward. Neptune going retrograde has us looking at deceptions and illusions and saying, I'm not being controlled. And then spiritually, we're connecting more and more and more with where we want to be, what we desire for ourselves and with ourselves. Jupiter is in Taurus, which calls us to the simple joys. But Jupiter is greatness, right? Taurus is here on Earth, embracing our greatness here on Earth, also embracing our ability of manifestation. Venus and Mars are in Leo, and this calls us to beauty. This calls us to color. This calls us to vibrancy, to live out loud and really enjoy ourselves. We're resisting a healing because we're really worried. We have different paths opening up to us, and we kind of thought things were going to go one way or another. And now it's really much the energy of, how am I releasing negativity, hurts, pains, things that held me back in the past, and opening myself to love, to healing, to compassion, to where I need to be for me. We're resisting this right now because there's a sense almost here, Libra, that if I embrace my heart, I'm embracing weakness. And that couldn't be further from the truth. If we dare to live in love, if we dare to live out loud in grace and in beauty, then we are living in such a way that is profoundly beautiful. And that is brave. It's not weakness at all to know our hearts, to connect with our hearts. It's not even weakness at all to feel a bit weepy because of the state of the world and everything that's going on. I mean, it's a lot. Opening up our hearts and opening up to what we desire is super important. So we're pushing back this gift, but Spirit's saying, take it in. It leads us to death reversed. Now, this is the dying way of the old self, a rebirth of the new. We're resisting a transformation that's happening. We're resisting, how do I move forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? Spirit is trying to guide us. And we're kind of saying, you know what? I got this. And Spirit's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. So here, Libra, especially if we have strong Scorpio in our chart or we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, there's a transformation that we're resisting. We're also resisting fully embracing the spiritual world and the practical world. We're resisting, how do I move forward in love and in grace and in power with myself and in healing for what I deeply desire within my life. So that's going to be a huge shift that's coming in. There's going to be a real sense of, okay, I'm transforming, I'm being reborn, and I have to accept this. But we're trying to hold on to something that has already passed. And it brings us to the Two of Swords. And I see this as kind of bittersweet. There's a sense of, how do I move forward? How do I go after what I want? What is important to me? Where do I need to be? And the Two of Swords is looking at these different avenues and saying, okay, what do I need to discover? Because I thought A and I thought B. And now I'm starting to see the rest of the alphabet, unfold before me, trying to see, where do I go and how do I connect and what do I desire? Where do I want to be? And so Spirit is saying here, with the blindfold on, it's time not to overthink, not to overanalyze, or not to even see what everybody else is doing, because that's going to influence us. It's like when you start watching things and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, that's a great idea. Spending thousands of dollars on things that I wasn't interested in before I started watching these YouTube videos, or TikToks or whatever, is a fantastic idea, because now I really want it because everybody else has it. It's like, no, turn inward. What do you really want? What's really important to you? What do you desire? The worry and doubt and fear is here. It's part of life. And because we are resisting a healing, which sounds silly, because when we say, oh, there's a healing coming, and it's like, well, it's free, all we have to do is connect. Why would we resist it? Because it's scary and it's overwhelming. This is going to be a time to step forward with heart well open and say, there's a lot that overwhelms me in this world. There's a lot that I worry about late at night, but there's a lot that is beautiful, and there's a lot that is guiding me. People see you as that person, celebrated, powerful, brilliant. And yet on the inside, we're worried, we're doubtful, we're fearful. How do I move forward? And where is it that I want to be? So being aware of that is super important. Saying, hey, I'm stepping into my energy and myself. Crawling out of the worry and the doubt and the fear by naming it. That's also a really important thing. I highly recommend also using the simple act of smiling to help relieve anxiety. It sounds simple, so simple that it can sound silly. But we have meridian points in our jaw and in our lips. I was talking to a Qigong master and he said, smile. He said, it helps. And I thought, oh, how silly. Everybody says, oh, just smile. It raises your serotonin. And he said, in your jaw, you have meridian points to your liver. In your lips, you have meridian points to your pancreas. So when you smile, in your liver where anger is held, you're releasing. When you smile in your lips, you have meridian points to your pancreas, which is where worry and fear are held. So you're releasing anger and you're releasing fear. And you're releasing sleepless nights and just being totally overwhelmed. Smile. You'll be surprised at how it changes your existence. The Magician, as above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes, especially with Jupiter in Taurus, especially with such a spiritually connected time. As you believe it, so it becomes. And this is going to be a time where we need to connect. We need to connect with our mind, our thoughts, and that will impact our spirit in such a profound way. It's time to start utilizing our gifts, start seeing our gifts. This is a time, I just heard paint the world out loud. This is a time to embrace color, to embrace beauty, to say, I live in joy, and just go for it. Whatever that joy means and is to you, go for it. As above, so below. Whatever you're focusing on, you will get tenfold during this time, positive or negative. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, the Hierophant. Taurus energy, right? Mindful of, just as Spirit said, our manifestation, what we're thinking about, but also mindful of the rules and the structure and thinking, well, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. Be aware of this. This isn't a time for boxes. This is a time for free-form expression, kind of like interpretive dance, right? It brings us to our subconscious spirit message, which is compassion. Be compassionate to yourself. Be compassionate to the world. And let the doors open. It is time to embrace compassion. Our subconscious tarot message is the Five of Cups. Change your mind and change your life. It is time to stop looking at things that are done and over. And it is time to embrace healing. And yet, again, that healing, beautiful love, we're having a bit of difficulty connecting with. We can feel like we don't deserve it. We can feel overwhelmed by it. We can want things to stay kind of, or be simple and straightforward. And now they're all emotion-based and spiritual and more complex than we had, thought they should be or wanted them to be at this time. We kind of want things to be simple, straight lines, simple rules, things like that. Things mapped out very neatly and simply. I'm just seeing very kind of like minimalistic, straight lines, order, structure. And this is going to be a time where it's a free-form dance. It's beautiful, it's chaotic, it's overwhelming. But it is. And the healing energy just swarms around you, like flows around you like butterflies. And I'm hearing bumblebees, a lot of bumblebees. Not to scare you. I don't mean if anybody is scared of bees, but there's just a sense of like sweetness and honey and brilliance coming your way. All right. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and be safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless and enjoy this time. Take in the healing. Bye.